Do you think they're built for fall?
They are legitimately 2 games away from being in the ALCS. So, yes. I think we got to stop looking at it in terms of what the Tigers have done, what the collapse was, et cetera, et cetera. They're tied right now with the Seattle Mariners with a chance to take the lead here at home and actually not even leave the city of Detroit to get to the ALCS. So when you look at it through that lens, yes, they're built to be here.
Okay. I don't know.
You weren't expecting that, huh?
No, I think built for fall means that you're getting to the World Series. You're built for the big moments.
Well, first day of fall was technically 9 days ago, so they're built for fall. Fall meaning fall ball.
Okay.
They got through the first round of the playoffs. This is a chance to get to the ALCS. I think if you get to the ALCS, if you get to the conference championship in any, at any professional level, you at least got there. Like, this makes you built for fall, makes you built for the postseason.
Yeah. So
especially if you don't have a bye week.
We have different views of it. I get the sense. I don't want to take words out of your mouth. I get the sense that if they beat Seattle, it's been a successful season for you. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. For me, it's just not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case at all. And I am tired of people telling me that's how I should feel and that's the way it is and all this other crap. This division was winnable. You were in comfortably controlling situations with it.
Yeah.
You should have gone further a year ago. Your roster is better. It could have been even better, but I'm not going to dwell on the trade deadline. This whole kumbaya crap of everything's good because we're ahead of schedule. We're playing with house money. I'm happy because they're here. You haven't won a freaking World Series in 41 years. So if your bar is that low, good for you.
Yeah.
My bar's a lot higher. Let's hope they're built for fall. They better be built for fall. Yeah. They should have been built for fall last year. This tagline of built for fall this year, let's hope it comes true. And I hope they do. I hope they win the next 2 games and they're into the ALCS. All we've been told all season long is that the American League is wide open. Right. All we were told all season long, that baseball is wide open. Remember, the Dodgers weren't as good. Philly loses Zach Wheeler, a big. How many people really believe in the Brewers? Come on, man. At some point, can we just say, if we can be disappointed with the Lions last year, 15-2, home field advantage, all that other stuff, we can't be disappointed now because they're in the playoffs for the Tigers? I think that's bullcrap.
Yeah, I just look at it through this lens, and you're free to feel how you want to, and I understand that. Like 100%. You told me how you felt about the Tigers team, not this year, last year, before the season, and what you felt they were. You felt like they were a team that could to ALCS last season, where most people were like, what? It was lucky we got there. So I understand that. 10 years before last year, we hadn't been to the playoffs. That was the last time we had been to the playoffs before last season. It was 10 years before that. Miserable season after miserable season after miserable season, after player gone, after new GM, after new owner. Excuse me, not new owner. But you get to
live through it. Yep.
100%. You get the gist of what I'm saying. And I'm looking at it through this lens. Look, you made it to the postseason last season. I still didn't necessarily believe this team was going to win the World Series this year. I was hoping they got to the ALCS. I believe they could get to the ALCS. And here we are. They still have a chance to get to the ALCS. A lot of the concerns that I had throughout the season were the same reason why I didn't feel as though they would win the ALCS or they would win the World Series. So I still feel those same ways. And I feel like they've shown their ugly head at the end of the season and then a little bit in the second game. Actually, both games, really, even the one we won. Yeah. So I'm looking at it as, look, yes, there's an individual, if you want to say about what they did not do to be built, because the person that builds teams, well, it's the GM, president, and coach. More so GM, the guys bringing players in. Maybe not in that regard. They left out at the trade deadline. There were moves that they didn't make that could help this roster more. So if you say that they're not built, I can understand that lens, but they're here. They have an opportunity to get to the next round. And from the players' point of view, they've been here before, so we'll see what happens.
They should, for sure.
Yeah.
When I look at it, I also see 6 All-Stars. Whether you think they were deserving or not, you're not taking that off their resume.
Can't.
Okay? Baseball Reference has the number of All-Star appearances. Those guys are all in, all right? And we all believe that they have the best manager in baseball.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and we're not going to dispute that, I think they should go further. If the expectations for me were to get to the World Series, and the reason those expectations were for me is because it was a much more winnable division, and it was a much more winnable league. The teams that made moves at the deadline doesn't automatically mean they're going to get there.
Ooh.
Hello, New York Yankees, down 2-0 to Toronto, hosting
Very
Toronto
true.
tonight. Made some acquisitions in the offseason and at the trade deadline. So I'm not going to go revisionist history in that regard. I'm talking about right now. This team's got to be better with runners in scoring position. I hope they are. I hope the weather doesn't play much of a factor. I hope Jack Flaherty gives you 6 strong innings tonight. And I hope they win the next 2 games at home and then get ready for Toronto. And it'll be a hell of an invasion between Detroit and Toronto, a rematch of 1987.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
My meter isn't going to expect more. My meter isn't going to say this is what they should have done in relation to this until you're looking at 6 guys that line up in the same freaking spot every single game. Line up in the same spot every single game. 7 guys that are in the same spot. The roster not changing. Today, Kerry Carpenter's batting first in rotation today. It's been this hodgepodge of you play here, you play there, where you're not playing, where you play. Kind of like the pitching thing was for them that had success. Like the Lions, towards the end of the season on defense, well, this guy's out, you're here, you're here. So until I feel a sense of stability, a consistency, I can't be mad at a team that falls apart, falls short, when this is what I see them as. Like, we just had this conversation the other day talking about what the Phillies are, talking about what you're used to seeing. Like, when you turn the Phillies on, that roster's going to look the same way every single night. You may have 1 or 2 tweaks.
6 or 7 guys on it.
There you go, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
You have 6 or 7 guys. The Tigers, it's 2 to 3, and then it rotates, and then it moves.
Well, but as you know, I mean, just because they're batting in a different part of the order doesn't mean that they're not an everyday player.
And once again, this is me maybe a novice, maybe leaning on the expertise of you, but like, is that normal? How often they have players in different positions? Or
it is for this guy and it is for this team.
Okay.
And it's been successful for him. He and I used to have conversations about this all the time when he was in Houston, who he had and how you knew Altuve was going to lead off, and then it was going to Springer, and then it was going to be Correa, and then it was going to be this guy and this guy. That's convenient. With this team, because of the splits, because of Kerry Carpenter against righties and Kerry Carpenter against lefties, and Riley Green against lefties and Riley Green against, and looking at those numbers, there are going to be a lot of changes. Okay. Kerry Carpenter sometimes hits first, and sometimes he will hit third or fourth. Parker Meadows sometimes may lead off, and sometimes he will hit near the bottom of the order. A lot of it has to do with what he expects from, in this case, Dan Wilson, the manager of the Mariners, and who's coming in relief. So if today is Logan Gilbert, and in relief you get a Gabe Spire, you get a Caleb Ferguson, a lot may depend on where he goes with his lineup and how he has set his lineup, thinking about what moves are going to be made. So in that regard, that's why I always say I think he's brilliant. I think A.J. Hinch is absolutely brilliant when it comes to that stuff. It's up to the players to perform, and let's hope they do perform tomorrow. Now the first pitch is supposed to be about 4 o'clock. Right, a little bit after 4 o'clock. Mother Nature does not look like she's cooperating right now. Looks pretty cold. This goes back to my constant complaint that every team in Major League Baseball should have a retractable roof. Mm-hmm. And it's not just for players, but it's for fans. If this is a fan-friendly game, then you want people to be able to plot out their day. Braylon's going to go to the game tonight. Well, he makes all kinds of adjustments to his schedule.
It's an ugly day, man.
Maybe he won't be able to go because he takes this time off, and then suddenly he goes and it's canceled or delayed.
It says rain's going to stop at 4:30, so
good.
Maybe they'll get
I
the
did
game.
realize that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go down to the game release. I'm going to attempt. I'm going to head down there if it looks a little better. This right here, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like, if this is what it looked like, look, I love my Tigers. You heard what I said beforehand, but this right here, my tickets are outside.